Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another video that I had scrapped because I thought it was too negative and I didn't want my channel to be negative about the game. But then BHVR turns around and makes the updates even worse than I thought they were, and then I'm just reminded of this video idea and I end up doing it again. Today I want to talk about what I think is the biggest problem in all of Dead by Daylight and what's ultimately gonna kill the game in my opinion. Remember, every video I make like this, it's just my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's completely fine. I want to hear your side of. I want to hear your opinion as well. But what I'm talking about today is not necessarily something with the game. It's more something with the company that is hurting the game. To keep it simple, well, my biggest complaints and what I think is killing Dead by Daylight in general is BHVR is catering too much and appeasing too much to newer players. Every single update that they make nowadays just feel like they're dumbing down the game and making the game easier and more accessible to newer players. And that in itself is not a bad thing inherently. Making the game more accessible is always good. Having more players, get into the game easier is a good thing for the game. The biggest problem I have is them dumbing down mechanics that are in the game that are not necessarily vital to win a game in Dead by Daylight. They're pretty much taking out skill from those mechanics and just saying, hey Johnny, I know you really want to get a flashlight save like the guys you see on YouTube, but I know it's very hard, right? So how about I make it easy for you, huh Johnny? Are you gonna be happy? Hey Johnny, you got locker saved? Fuck man, that is so bad. How about I remove locker saves from the game, huh? Oh no Johnny, the survivors are looping you? How about I put structures in the middle of loops so they can't loop you? Huh, Johnny? Are you happy now? Now, I've already talked about how I think BHVR is just trying to make the game less fun in another video, so if you're interested in that, go watch that one. This is not going to be about the same thing. I want to express my concerns for BHVR, and even if all they care about is money, I don't even think appeasing to newer players is the way to go. I've always held the opinion that games like Dead by Daylight should pretty much most of the time always try to make the veterans happy. Dead by Daylight isn't a AAA game that people pay like $60 for and then play the game once in single player and then never play it again. Dead by Daylight is a cheap game that you play for a bit and then you realize that there's a lot of things you can learn, and then you keep playing it, you realize that there's a way to improve in this game. And once you do improve, you see the good players around you wearing skins and the killer wearing skins. And that makes you want to buy skins. And I've always thought that that was the way BHVR made money in the first place. When the players get good at the game, or not even necessarily good at the game, they just want to buy skins. And that's how they monetize the game. There's a game I play a lot, and I've been playing it ever since I was 8 or something, called RuneScape. And RuneScape is kind of a hard game to explain, but let's just say there are two different servers of the game. There is the current version where the graphics are good, and then there's the old version where the graphics are bad. There are some clear differences other than the graphics, which makes the two games basically separate games. But I want to talk about the main version, the version with the good graphics. That version is way less popular than the one with the old graphics because of a bunch of reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But in the new version, they understand that trying to appeal to newer players is not necessarily a good thing. And now I don't want to talk about their business model because it is just predatory, and they offer way too many things behind paywalls that you can buy, like literal experience. And RuneScape is a MMORPG, so people want experiences in that game, and you can literally buy experience with real life money. That is not something I want for Dead by Daylight, even though there is an experience in the game. But because they understand that most of their player base is just going to be the same forever, pretty much. Most of, if not I guess most of, but like 90% of the updates are adding like end game bosses for veteran players, or they're adding new promotions for those microtransactions that you can buy XP off. Very, very rarely do they add something for newer players. They still do. And I think RuneScape has a bigger team than Dead by Daylight does, and the updates are way more frequent because I think that DBD is just a harder game to make updates on. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the game understands that the way they make money is by appealing to veteran players. While BHVR, on the other hand, I'm just talking out of my ass here. I hope you guys understand this. They know way more than I do about how to make money with the game. Let's just make that clear. But I really don't understand how appealing to newer players and making the game easier is helping them in any way. That's why I hold the opinion that those changes are killing the game. If you get into a game and everything is just immediately accessible. You already master the game the first game you play. In a game such as Dead by Daylight, like, the game gets boring very fast. There's another game I play called Phasmophobia, and I have like 50 hours in that game, and there isn't much to learn about the game. If you get interested in the game, you can learn pretty much everything there is to know about the game pretty fast. And after I played for 50 hours, and I mean that's stretching. When I could have stopped playing at like 30 hours and already know how to do everything, but you know, playing with friends made it funnier. I don't want to play the game anymore. I already know everything there is to know. I understand every map. I know what every ghost does. Like, there's no more. It's not interesting anymore. And Dead by Daylight is slowly becoming that. Now they're nerfing loops by adding fetch shaming spots, which, if you don't know what those are, they're basically spots where you can't, like it looks like your character can walk through, but you can't actually walk through because your hitbox is larger than the gap between the two objects. And this might be a bug, but BHVR adds a bunch of updates that look like bugs, and then they're like, yeah, you know, that's intended. That's just the way it is. And now you get punished for looping. So yeah, that's dumbed down again. Flashlight saves now, you don't even need timing at all. You can just blind the killer whenever, and you're gonna get the flashlight save. When I also hold the opinion that flashlight saves are not even fun anymore because they don't require any skill. Like, half of the reason flashlight saves were so rewarding was because of how hard they were to pull off. People are only liking this update, or newer players are liking this update, because they feel like they're doing something hard when they're getting a flashlight save, when in reality they're not. Like, that feeling of success is like based on the older version of the flashlight saves where they were hard, and now they get a save and they feel like they did something great when they really didn't. They just pointed the flashlight at the killer's face. You didn't have to time anything, but for a while it's gonna feel like you did the same thing that, you know, other people did before the update, which you didn't. And I don't know, I guess dumbing down all my points like BHVR does with the game, I don't feel like appealing to newer players is the way to go. I don't think that making the game easier is the way to go. Maybe they're making those updates to make the game more casual. Maybe they don't want you to learn the game. Maybe they want you to get in and just be scared of the killer. But then at the same time, they want to make championships or like competitions where people go up against each other for cash prizes. Like, you gotta pick one, okay? Again, talking out of my ass, but I don't think anyone, and I mean, like, by anyone, I mean, like, some people might play the game for, you know, the scare factor, but like 95% of the people that play this game don't play it to be scared. Like, who's scared of this game? Unless you're playing against Scratched Mirror Myers on Larry's Memorial or Ghostface on the same map. Like, how are you gonna be scared of the game? And then they turn around, ignore every single complaint every player has ever had about the game, and just release a new killer every 3 months or something. Maybe lay off the releases. Maybe don't release shitty maps into the game and shitty killers with shitty designs, and rather focus on quality of life updates, maybe adding a search bar for the perks, maybe improving the solo queue experience so that solo queue can be a little bit closer to Swift's in terms of strength, maybe get rid of the cheaters, maybe punish people that do bad things in the game, even make new skins, just make the game better. Stop trying to wash down the problems and wash them away, you know? And yeah, those new killer releases are big bumps, big hits of player increase, but it's a temporary high. Like, the players are gonna come into the game, test out the new killer, find out that it's not even that fun, and then they see the other glaring problems with the game, and then they stop playing again. DVD is bleeding out players, and it seems like BHVR doesn't understand why, so I guess I'm the savior. I'm just kidding. They know much more than I do about everything related to Dead by Daylight, I'm pretty sure. This is just a veteran player's voice. And I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I don't know, I guess this was just another ramble. Let me know what you guys think about everything I just said. And yeah. Hope BHR stops doing this, because it's getting boring. It's getting boring very, very fast.
Woof.